What's up, everybody? Marcus and Santos back for episode 26 of Disc Golf Amateur Hour. I almost forgot the name of our podcast.
You forgot which podcast you were on?
I forgot what we called it.
You're up on the other one?
On my
Well,
zero
that's
other
why
podcasts.
you're an amateur. Yeah.
That's why I'm an amateur
Huh?
still.
You. So about your 3 weeks now? 4 weeks into the season of Marcus, and we have to pull the plug
Yeah.
already?
Yeah, apparently.
Jeez.
We'll, we'll get a new host on. It can be the season of someone else.
Yeah, I do want to get back. I want to get a couple of revisits from some people we had before. See
Yeah,
if we can get some new people lined up soon. But that would be a nice thing. So,
for sure.
how's it going? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a little tired right now. Long day. We record at night, so
It's
pick up the
good.
energy.
It's good.
You had league tonight, and you
I had
want to
league
talk about
tonight.
that.
I'm
for
a little
sure.
fired up. I'm a little fired up about league. So we had a good round in random doubles. We had a great round. We shot 14 under.
That's a great round by all
It's a great
accounts.
round.
18 holes.
On 18 holes,
14
we
under.
shot 14 under. There's 4 holes that are hard, and the rest are gimmies, basically. We got all the gimmies. We missed 2 hard holes. Or we missed 4 hard holes that are over 310. Maybe everything else is under 310. So we got all of those. The guys on our card were beating us by 1. They had a putt on their last hole to get to 15. They missed about a 30-footer. And they were close. So we were like, okay, if we keep up with them the whole round, like we were pacing with them the whole round. We were both making everything. They missed our first hole and then didn't miss again for a while. We missed like our 8th hole that they got, and then we got the last hole and they missed it. So we evened out in the end.
So both squads 14.
Both teams were
Both
14s.
squads thinking, yeah,
So
all
I'm
right,
like,
that was a
I
great
literally
job.
said on our last hole, I was like, if we don't win, I don't know what is happening. Like, if one of us doesn't win, that's ridiculous. And we show up and we get back to the table, and someone's like, yeah, there's two 15s in already. I was like, great, so we're gonna throw off for 3rd place. And then another card comes in, and they're like, oh yeah, we shot 15. I was like, sick. 3 15 downs. We only pay 3 spots at this league. I was like, immediately we're out of it. We had no chance for even to get in a throw off for last cash.
Not funny because 14, you're thinking you're cashing out of 18 holes. 14 at JD, you're not cashing. But 14 out of 18 holes, you're cashing.
Yeah, 14 out of 18 holes, you
Yeah.
should cash. That usually cashes everywhere around us.
Not today.
Not today. It
Not
didn't.
today.
So yeah, I was a little
So-
salty.
Did you stick around to see? Did they have a throw off?
Yeah, they had a throw off.
Sudden death or just CTPs to the
CTP.
next hole?
Yeah, no, just CTP to the closest hole to the bench we sit at.
Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. It might be a topic for another day, but
Yeah, I'm used to it by now, so I don't really
Yeah.
care. It's an easy
do
hole.
they at
You
least
should-
have metal trumps on the CTP?
No. No,
It's
but
a
one of
layup.
one of the Mon brothers was there. He won. They won the throw off.
Hmm.
I don't know which Ryan Mon. I think Jake Mon's the one that was touring, and Ryan Mon is the younger one that was still around us. So he won. He got like one of the old vets that's good at this course. They were partners. They shot 15. It was just like, yeah, it happens.
It happens. It happens on the day where you thought you were doing well.
I was
So-
doing well. That's the problem.
Yeah, except you didn't because you didn't cash. So here's the issue. How much more does it hurt? If you have a bad day where you're just like, and you're like, you shoot 10 down, right? 10,
Yeah,
11 down, and you're just like,
that one hurts
man,
more to
you
me.
didn't have it today. That one hurts more than knowing, like, I killed it.
Yeah.
Great job. You walk up and they're like, no. And you're like, fuck.
Yeah, then like
The
the being
one
like,
with the
man,
shitty round hurts more.
yeah, because like at least I can walk away from this being like, yeah, I played every hole well, to some extent. Like we
Okay.
we had easy pars on the hard holes, and we made a couple putts on the hard holes to get good pars, but like I threw a good shot on every hole of some kind, so I feel like I walked away from, like being happy with how I threw, basically. Which doesn't happen often for me. Usually I'm wanting more. But like today I was like, no, we didn't get the holes that are like not birdied often, so it happens. And I should say, at least one of the cards that one that shot a 15 had an ace on it. So
Oh, nice.
at least one of the cards with the 15 had an ace, if not two of the cards with
There's a
15s had an ace.
there's a double. You
So
double cash and place, so somebody made out.
yeah. So I was like, then I even feel like we shot a better round because we got more birdies. They just happened to ace. Because aces are lucky, unless they were like, yeah, I'm gonna.
How are they lucky? Come on.
Aces are just bad shots that hit the basket.
No, here we go with this. Come on, man. Come on.
Unless you call it.
You're literally trying to ace. Like you just said
No, you're
yourself.
not.
About 14 of them are gettable. So why are you not trying to
easy
ace?
birdies? Oh, we are. Half the time you're trying to ace.
All right. So it's not. So, I mean, if you're aiming and you throw one in, that's not luck. If you're laying up and you get a skip in, all right, that's luck. If you get a tree direct, that's luck. But if you're saying, even if you get a skip and you call it like, I'm going wide, I'm going to try to skip this in, it goes in, that's got to count for something.
Yeah, and again, I didn't see the ace that they got on. It was on 8 on like their last hole, like right in front of the crowd where we all sit. So they might have called it. They might have said they were going for the ace, but it is just a Spike Heiser hole for a righty. So every good shot's
what's the distance?
Like 200 or less, maybe 200. Let me look right now. I'll pull it up. It's not long. I stand still putter up a hill, so it can't be that long.
So we don't count it then. In the world of Marcus, we don't count that.
Certainly not. We certainly don't count it. Why are there so many? Let's see. Show more.
You good, bro?
Hole 8 is 218 uphill.
Oh, it counts.
It just barely counts.
Counts.
There's only 2 holes under 200 feet on this course. So, it is what it is. I still lost. End of the day. Doesn't matter. And the result's the same. I didn't win.
That hurts. What am I looking at here?
What are you looking at?
I'm trying to get everything ready for what we're about to talk about, so I'm just trying to line them up.
Yeah.
Because I was doing everything on our phone while we're talking.
Yeah.
And I got 2 screens here, so I'm like, come on, man. Do better.
The only other thing that happened this weekend was Bob's Salisbury tournament. Temp course we got to play. Super good course. It was.
I was watching all the posts.
Incredible.
It got a good turnout, yeah?
Yeah. Awesome turnout. Really fun course. I played an okay round. It was like 935 rated or somewhere high 930s at the end of the day. I was pretty happy with how I played it because I played it blind. So, you don't really know distances. You're just throwing based off of what Justin says the distance on the hole is, or what UDisc says the distance on the hole is. So you're just like kind of guessing at what discs and you're going off of what your discs do versus what your past has done on that hole. And there is some big open field holes where it's like 1,000-foot hole where you're just throwing and throwing and throwing. So it's kind of hard to gauge distances.
He did that specifically for Justin.
Yeah. It wasn't just throwing and throwing and throwing. It was like there were trees around. They're not garbage holes where there's just open field throws. Like you needed to throw good placement shots to get a good shot for your next shot, for your upshot, for your upshot, for your birdie on a par 5. Like they were really well designed. There were no stinker holes out there. They were all really good.
Just stinker throws?
Just some stinker throws.
I saw the post, man. Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Dude, it was the first shot is so sick. It looks like such a nice golf line. Like
yeah.
360 over water, just like pushing the whole way.
I saw that. I have no disc that does that. I had to be asked out. I don't have a forehand, so I can't make it go that way.
Yeah.
Is there a layup spot somewhere along the right-hand side?
You could bail out right, yeah, but it was a decent carry. And there were short tees. There was a short basket placement. It was a totally different hole. That was just for the MA1 and open field that played that hole.
Okay. I liked it. It looked nice.
It's awesome. It's beautiful. Then my terrible tee shot on 18, which wasn't even that bad. It was just like sawed off by like 5 feet. It was like maybe.
But gave up on that. Yeah, like you were laying up, so you were not
It's
really.
a
That
500-foot
wasn't
hole.
your. But that wasn't like your full like forehand. Is what I'm saying. Like you were chipping.
No,
Like you were just
the
trying to
landing
take
zones
half.
the landing zone's like 20 feet wide on a side slope, and
Is
it's
this
like
not the video where I saw Justin testing it and like getting there with the distance?
yeah, that's a pure water carry. There's the landing
Okay,
zone.
so on the other side of those trees, there is no other landing spot. I'm figuring there was like a 350 landing spot, like where you're getting
No,
around those
no.
trees. So you had to lay up between those trees so that your
Yes.
next shot
So
go through them.
in that
Okay.
video, the way the fair those trees kind of curve to the left.
If you have the time, put a picture or something
Yeah,
here so they know what
I'll
you're
try
talking
to do
about.
that.
Just clip a
The
picture.
trees curve to the left, so then that's where the land goes. But it's like a 20-foot wide strip of land with woods on the left and water on the right. So you could only get like 300 off the tee, and then you need another. Then you have a 200-foot hyzer into the basket, like a chip, like a spike forehand or a little turnover, or if you get lucky, a straight shot. And then
From the looks of it, the trees are not just on the left. There's some still in front of you there. Like
no,
you were laying up, and there's still a gap of trees that you had to
the
get
trees
through,
are on the right.
unless you're right on the edge, and then you got to
Yes,
get all the way over it.
the trees are on the
Okay.
right, like on the water's edge, and then the fairway bends left, and the trees stay on the right. So
Okay.
then, so that shot goes OB. It rolls out of bounds for like 10 seconds. It out of bounds for 10 seconds. So then you go to the short tee, which is not an easy hole. It's like a gap shot over the water. I throw it a little bit early release. It hits the land. It sticks on like a tree on the edge of the water. So I'm like, great. I got like a 20-footer or less. Tap in, get my four, move on. Get up there, disc is in the water. We were all
That's
like,
rough.
I thought I saw it come to rest. Apparently it didn't.
Oh,
Like I swear I watched it come to rest, and then it was in the water, and I was just like, yeah, I can't call it in because it
dang.
like I don't
Nobody saw
I
it.
can't I can't confirm it came to rest, even though it looked like it came to rest, but it must have just slid out after that. So I was like a 5. So I could have birdied that hole easily, and that's like 2 strokes difference and like 15 rating points difference, and some payout difference too. So is what it is. Fun course, very
And
fun
the
course.
ugly was just your reaction to that shot where you
Yeah,
just turned and looked at the camera.
I'm so glad.
That was hilarious.
Their buddy Philip was recording like some shots for us, and he's a very good videographer apparently, because he knew to just pan right to me
Yeah.
after we watched it go OB.
Is he was he playing or he was just following
Yes,
you guys?
no, he was playing with us. He was
Okay.
the fourth on our
Good.
card.
Good.
Me, Justin, Philip, and my buddy Zach, which was super fun. And Zach was, I had him by 3 going into, I had him by 4 going into that hole, I think. And then I bogeyed and he birdied, so I only ended up having him by 1 to finish the round. Whatever that math checks out. I only had him by 1. So I had him by 3, 2-stroke swing. I only beat him by 1 at the end of the day. But he also took a 7 on hole 2 because he didn't know where the OB was. So, like, you know, we each had our weird OBs. He didn't realize the wood line was OB because it just looked like a wood line, and Bob got purple flags. And those are impossible to see from anywhere.
I've never seen purple flags.
Yeah, no one had. And you probably didn't see them on the ground if you were at the tournament either because they're impossible to see.
Live scoring didn't have OB written on there. Bob is full.
No, it did, but Zach
Didn't
doesn't
pay
play a
attention
ton
to
of
it.
tournaments yet. Like he's
Yeah.
getting new to the tournaments and the PDGA Live, and we kind of had
So
Justin telling us he just didn't listen well enough to what Justin
Zach,
said.
yeah, Zach, if you're listening, if you happen to be watching this, we don't blame you. We blame Justin.
Yeah.
We blame Marcus. So I have, side note, the best ever. I want to say it was Luke, our Luke,
Mm-hmm.
keeping score during a tournament, and somebody else did the same thing. Takes the score from the previous hole. Okay, like automatic. What'd you shoot? What'd you shoot? Okay, yells out the order and then reads the OB. There's OB on the left, OB on the right. Follow it. It's like that's the way it should. I never want to do it. Nobody wants to keep score, right?
Yeah.
But if you're gonna do it, announce it that way. Get the scores, give everybody the order just in case. Don't let them ask, and then say, "Hey, there's OB on this hole. It's here and here." Because the worst thing possible is to not announce it. Let them throw them like, "Oh, it's OB," and they're like, "What?" Number one, they should know because they should ask, they should follow, they should know the course. Number two, you should have someone who's keeping score just to be safe. You want to know if there's going to be OB.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry, sidetrack.
No, that's about it.
We blame Justin. Justin,
we blame Justin. Usually, I'm the one, like you said, like Luke called it out. Usually, I'm calling that stuff out because I'm checking because I don't know if I don't know the hole. But I was keeping a UDisc scorecard, and everyone else was keeping PDGA live because we needed the UDisc foot traffic as evidence that people came to the course to play it, so that to go to the park, to go to the city, and petition and pitch the course to the city. Then, so the only way to track how many people came through was how many UDisc rounds were logged.
Makes sense. So they asked every card to have somebody do it. Okay, makes sense.
Because it's the equivalent of keeping a paper scorecard, because you can do that as an option instead of a PDGA scorecard. And if your scorecard matches, it doesn't matter. All our scorecards matched.
I mean, he gave them one weekend's full data.
Yeah.
Right?
So
he's been trying to do this for a while, but they won't give him say a month, 4 weekends, see what happens.
Right. They won't even give him that. Like they give him one weekend at best. And he said, I think it was somewhere between 200 and 400 people they think came through the course on Saturday for open play. Just the course was open.
Just to try, yeah.
But they only had 70 UDisc rounds logged.
Fuck.
So Bob was asking everyone to make sure if you were there, log your UDisc round. Even if you did it after the fact, just put a UDisc round together that you were there. Help us out. This course would be a gem for Charlotte area. It's about 45 to an hour north of like downtown Charlotte. It's about 45 minutes north of where Justin lives, Huntersville. So it's about 45 minutes north of North Charlotte. It was about 2 hours to get to from me, which I don't even mind. It was worth driving 2 hours. I drove 2 hours to North Cove. I would drive 2 hours to this course too. So I think it's really good.
Is this a heavy foot traffic park area that he's battling for, which is why it's kind of...
No. A lot of it uses unused land, just like wide open fields with like bushy pines and stuff. So just like unused land. Yeah. A little bit would need to be redesigned. Or maybe only some of these are temporary holes for tournaments, and they need to fit a couple more holes in. Okay. Because of like fishing and things. So like that water carry hole on my Instagram. That one might not make the final design because that's a fishing spot. Or 18 is also a fishing spot, basically. Okay. So they might not make the final design, but there is enough room to put 18 in, a good 18 in. There's mountain biking trails on a different half of the park, completely unrelated, like completely away from the disc golf course that we had. There's mountain biking. Okay. There's a few walking paths that we would tee off from a few walking paths. There's so many nice old ladies that came up and were so happy to see us and talk to us, and we're like, this is great. Like, I'm so happy you guys are here. Like, this is so cool to see you utilize the park. Justin got a couple old ladies' phone numbers so that he can text them and tell them when the city council meeting is to go, so that they can get support from locals. Yeah. So super.
Imagine that. The country club lost 6 holes. I don't know if you know this.
I saw that.
Pinewoods, yeah, that hurt. Battling people who don't know any better, but
I'll be the first to say I don't care if that whole course gets pulled.
You don't live here.
It's a garbage course.
I live here. Not a garbage course. Very, very useful course. Very, very useful. You got to get back in shape. You got to get your putter up. You want to practice putters. You want to practice mids. Very useful. I really like that course, not just because it's close. It helps beginners. It helps you fine tune. You probably just never shot well on it, so you hate it. But I thought it was a very nice course. You got some enjoyable videos there.
Yeah, great videos there.
It was a nice course. I liked it. It just didn't work out. So yeah, maybe in the future, if they just keep to it, vote or something, somebody can come along and put those back. But I really thought it was helpful. Like I said, even for the advanced people, like it's still a challenge. Everybody wants to knock the course, pitch and putt, but guess what? How many people shot in 18 down or 16 down?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Fair.
It still had its moments.
I don't think I ever once played it during the summer. I think I only played it during the winter or for Team Challenge during the winter.
Yeah, you should have played it during the summer.
Eh, I got better
I
courses to go
think
to.
my PR was like 13.
Yeah.
It was either 12 or 13.
There's
And
just better.
that's
I mean, it was a 25, 30-minute drive. I might as well drive the extra 15 to go to Bond. I might as
I
well.
get that, but are you going to go to Bond to? Are you going to take your putters to Bond? Just your putters? Are you going to take your putter in maybe a mid? So, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just want to work on your putters and mids, and that's what you can
I
do
just do
there.
that in a field. I don't even go to the course when I
Yeah,
do that. So
yeah. Your fields got taken away now. I heard
I'm not
volleyball
happy.
season
I'm
picking
not
up, right?
happy. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
soccer fields. They're like lacrosse fields, and there's like 4 volleyball nets lined up across them. So I can't use them. I don't. And then I go to. I'm like, oh look, there's one of the fields. There's like 5 fields in a tiered like system kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, oh, there's another field like kind of up at the top that no one's using. I drive around the park, pull up there. I see dudes throwing ultimate frisbees. It's like, are you kidding me? I'm getting kicked out by ultimate now. I drove to like 4 or 5 other parks before I settled on this tiny little park where I could throw my putters. And there was like 8 kids around, so I was anxious the whole time and wasn't happy.
All right, gang. We can't have Marcus walking around upset. He's gonna put his GoFundMe link right down here somewhere, and you can help him get his 100 acres in South
Yeah.
Carolina. And you're all welcome. The first year's on him.
Ugh.
Membership first year's on him.
Justin just sent me such a nice piece of property. It's just too far away. It's about an hour and a half from Greenville, and it's in the middle of nowhere. But it is gorgeous, and it's cheap. It would be like we could
Hour and a
buy it
half from
tomorrow.
Greenville does not mean that you can't move a little north of Greenville. I'm assuming
South, towards
south.
Columbia.
It doesn't mean you can't move a half hour south. Half hour riding to work.
Right,
Hour
but then
away
I
from
need
your
to buy
court.
a house and land, and I only have money for one of those 2 things.
You can't put a house on the land that he showed you. How
But
many
then I'm an
acres?
hour and a half from Greenville, where I work.
Uh, yeah.
Plus, I'm getting
Well,
married, and I have a fiance that wants to also work in Greenville area.
most marriages last longer if she stays a half hour from Greenville and you stay at the course. And then you meet in the middle, like on
Right,
the week.
sure.
You can't even meet on the weekends.
No.
Damn. That's
Yeah.
when you want to
So
disc golf.
we're still looking. We're still looking for land. Don't worry.
All
It'll
right.
happen. Do we want
What
to
else? You
That's
got?
about it for the last week. That's about all that happened.
Oh, yeah. I want to talk about what just went down. Holy shit. AB.
Yeah.
I was pulling up some of the stats because I remembered. I just forgot he laid up 18 because he didn't have to go for 18
Yeah.
for the win. But right before that, when he was out of it, by a couple strokes, and you're thinking, all right, some way, somehow, you're hoping this is Ben's to win. He's an easy guy to cheer for, right? Ben's right
Sure.
there, Ezra right there. You're like,
Ezra's yeah.
if one of these guys take it, that's going to be awesome. If Calvin wins, I'm not against it. It's Calvin,
Yeah, that would be cool.
so, right? So that's happening, and AB's there. You're like, here you go, another top, podium finish for AB. I really
Yeah.
wasn't thinking he was going to win. I actually stopped watching. I want to say around 8 or 9 for those guys.
Mhm.
I was busy. Maybe it was a little sooner than that. It doesn't matter. I'm gone for like a half hour, 45 minutes. I get a message from somebody, and I check my phone, and then just have it by now, but just to check an update or something, I crack open Facebook and I see a post automatically. I forget which group, disc golf group. Guy says, I got 100 on Heimberg taking this. And this was back, when I checked the time of the post,
Yeah.
it was probably like hole 3 or 4. He's like, I got 100 on
Wow.
Heimberg against whoever wants to pick AB. He literally just narrowed it down. He said, I got 100 on Heimberg over AB,
Yeah.
which made me
Wow.
go, oh, shit. So I turned it back on, and I'm like, now I got to watch this. Beautiful, just in time.
Yeah.
He goes 6 down in 5 holes.
Yeah.
Immediately comes to mind the Jordan meme. Like, AB saw this guy's post and took it personally. He might have bet that guy. I didn't check the comments. He might have been one in there and said, I got that bet.
Yeah.
Because he went on an absolute tear.
Yeah.
The Eagle was Okay. Wow. But
Yeah.
yeah, I really think he could have finished a birdie on 18 if he needed
Oh,
it
he probably could have
for
made
the
the putt
win.
easily.
I got faith that he
It
could have
was
done
like a
that.
30-footer or so, and he's been making them all day.
Also, Calvin on 18. Yikes.
Yeah, what did he do? He
He
caught it
missed.
out too
He
wide.
went OB. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of was
Um,
curious why he threw that shot. I wanted to see him throw up the middle.
hold on, give me 1 second. Not out wide. Somebody else's went wide.
Someone else's went wide?
I'm trying to picture it. I'm thinking he let his go early. Correctly,
Oh, yeah, he came up
he let
early,
his go
short left.
early. He didn't go wide enough. Like he didn't commit fully to that
Yeah, he came up short
outside path.
left.
But I'm trying to remember who went wide. It was Ben. Wide.
Yes, and he took himself out of it. He just missed
He
wide
went
right.
wide. Yeah, he missed very wide, and then Calvin
Ezra made
early
it and missed the
released.
putt, I believe. No, Ezra
Yes.
made it and made the putt. I don't know.
No, he. I'm looking at his score on 18. He parred. He
Okay, he
missed.
made it and missed the putt. That was what it
He
was.
made it, but he was like circle two. I think he was
Yeah,
far left.
yeah,
Made it, but far left. The fact that he was there on 18 at this course was just awesome to see. I really want Ezra to take one of these. Good guy.
yeah. It'd be very cool.
Like I said earlier, him or Ben, that would have been awesome. Not mad at
Yeah,
AB for being on a tear, right? It was just an amazing
no.
performance, and this guy is really locked in. Like, you can't say it enough, what he's doing this year, which leads us to one of our topics.
Yeah, power rankings. And
So, if anyone's out there that wants to correct us, obviously feel free. This is why it's the uh, amateur hour. All right, so Calvin is one. Eagle, who hasn't played, is two.
so what are
Three.
these power rankings you're seeing? What site are you
Average points, official disc golf world rankings, powered by PDGA Live, PO leaderboard, April 17th, 2024.
what
So, did I send you
what
the link for it?
no. I want to
So
see
you
what
can put it on the. Yeah, I want you to be able to. I'm sending it to
yeah.
you now, so you can put it on the podcast.
Okay. I want to
What
see.
happened was another argument or something happened with Brodie. It popped up, and he said we need to talk about this.
Ah,
And now I'll send you the ranking. So you got Calvin, Eagle, Gannon, Wysocki 4, Kyle Klein 5, Isaac Robinson 6, Lazat 7, Matteo 8, Barella 9, and rounding out the top 10 is Paul Macbeth. So
yeah.
we can only assume it takes into account 2023. Some sort of average
Or
points.
before that. Sorry, I'm going to their website.
Okay. ODGWR.com?
WR.com. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Let's see what they pull in. I'm assuming
Okay,
1
so
year's worth.
that links that ODGWR.com official disc golf world rankings. Ah, I see. It links to a PDGA. So yeah, it's average points about the ranking system.
Here we go.
On hiatus since 2019, blah blah blah. 2024 relaunch utilizes a new calculation system devised by the PDGA team. Blah blah blah. Based on event results over the previous 104 weeks, 2 years.
There you go.
With
That explains it.
With most recent performances given a higher weighted value. Additionally, higher tier events will carry more value. Majors at the top of the scale. 2024 edition of the rankings will include only Elite Series and PDGA major event results, so not Silver Series, basically.
Here's what I'm going to start to say about this. And correct me if I'm wrong. You're allowed to have an opinion. Everyone has an opinion, right? What the fuck is the PDGA doing? Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Your ratings, your rankings, your shit just comes out of, like, we really need a Bob here. I don't even think he could defend it. But he's the only person I know that tracks it this close, can break it down, chart it, give you a spreadsheet, and still say, what in the actual fuck? Like, let's give up some common sense. It worked for a time. That time is not now.
No.
Right? You have what I don't I'm sure even if we had a little bit of time, we put our minds to it, we could come up with a better, easier way of doing this. But especially, let's just keep this for the Pro Tour because we've had this talk before. Amateurs,
So
yeah, keep the
I-
rankings,
I'll put
help
that.
people
I'll
learn.
put the PDGA official rankings up, right? Now, Statmando, which is the like leading stats keeping organization, basically, like
Yes.
for the PDGA for professional disc golf, not the PDGA. They're not associated. They just do stat keeping, and the PDGA utilizes them because they're so good at stat keeping. So they have the Statmando official rankings and the Statmando power rankings. So the Statmando official rankings, 24-month ranking to define the best players through longevity. So that's the same time period as the PDGA one. Then they have the Statmando Power Rankings, our 15-week ranking to define the hottest players of recent months. So these have different lists, and I'll post both of them. These
Okay.
have different lists. So the Statmando official rankings, 24-month ranking, is Gannon, Calvin, AB, Ricky, and Kyle Klein. That makes sense. Over 24-month stretch, that makes sense. It gives a lot of weight to what AB's been doing recently, but it takes into account how good Gannon and Calvin were last year. With Ricky
Gannon, Calvin, AB, Ricky being as consistent as possible.
Ricky was very consistent last year, and Kyle Klein had a really good year last year and is already playing well this year. Then their power rankings, this is the 15-week ranking, so I assume this has very much weighting on new events because it has AB, Gannon, Nicholas Antila, Kyle Klein, and then Kelvin Heimberg as the top 5.
Absolutely, yeah, because Antila,
that makes way more sense to me. These
that
power
makes more sense
rankings
than what we were just talking about.
Make the most sense to me.
So, again, this is the PDGA using something what's his guy I work with? He monkey math. He calls it just some magical shit they put together, and they want to back it up with another number, a percentage of weight. Let's just keep it relevant.
They list the two guys that came up with the devised by the PDGA team in collaboration with Mark Brodie and Dylan Byrne of Sport Edge, which they have a hyperlink to Sport Edge, which I've never heard of. Sport Edge, redefining the landscape of sport analytics. That's their tagline on the homepage of their website.
That's odd.
Yeah.
Because if anyone knows anything about disc golf and they say they need some analytics and they need some numbers, they're all going to say Statmando. They're all going to say that. So, or UDisc, for some personal info or stuff that you're tracking, right? But you're not going to. I've never heard that name before.
They're partners with the
I want to give a
PGA
shout out.
Tour. Sport Edge is partners with the PGA Tour.
Yeah, it just means they paid them money for something to be able to use their math, right?
Sure.
So, we're not going to talk about this without talking about the FPO side because of what Kristen did was just amazing until the final day. I think she just lacked focus. She struggled with her putt, and
who won?
It happens.
I forgot. I couldn't watch it. Who won?
Kristen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all these
rankings... easily. So, Statmando, are you going to put a picture up? You said.
Yes, I will put the pictures up.
Screenshot at least. So you got Kristen over there. It was 24-month. You got Kristen. You got Owen, who's been real hot this year. And had her wins last year, right? Missy, Holland. We were always a fan of Holland and Haley. That was the Statmando official, but on a tear, 15-week, which I would think is tough, with the 5 winners, right?
Yeah.
I would think it'd be a little up in the air. But obviously you're going to see Kristen there at the top. I mean, she's just so dominant, dominant. Own, tearing it up. I'm curious. This is just FPO because, Own does do the FP 40 or whatever, like the Masters, I think it is, right?
She does participate.
If they take some of that into account, like her ratings from there or something, because she tears it up a little differently.
No, I'm going to guess it's only tour
she competes.
Stuff.
Obviously, she wins and competes with, the FPO and then the FP 50 or whatever, 40. Sorry, Owen, 40. Missy Gannon, Holland Henley, Evelina, who has figured out some putting. She was pushing. She was doing well.
Yes, that's good to see.
I'm a fan of Evelina putting it together. I want to see her do something complete again. I really thought, was it a year and a half ago when she kind of on the scene and started tearing some up,
No,
you're
she's
like,
been
oh
around for
wow,
about
this
3
girl.
years.
Yeah, but I mean, like, was it LVC
Probably LVC. It's a good course for her.
when we saw her and she did? Yeah, I was like, wow. But then she kind of dipped, and then she came back a little bit, and then it was the worst grip locking, power grip putting performance that kind of tanked her for a while.
Yeah.
Still a fan of her, so hopefully she can do it. I'm maybe I'm selfish. Maybe I just like dynasties. Maybe I like whatever. Like Paige Pierce did 5 her times over. I want to see
Yeah.
Kristen hit 5. I want to see
Yeah.
Kristen hit 6. I want to see how far can she go.
Yeah, I agree.
Doesn't mean I'm rooting against any of the other ladies. I just don't see them right now, unless Paige finds her form, gets out of her head.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing wrong with what Paige did, right? She tore it up. Kristen came, basically, like, I don't want to say she beat her pretty handily.
Yeah.
A couple of times.
A lot.
And that's when Paige had her aha moment. Like, she was so upset and she said, winning is not the only thing. It's not everything. I don't have to be this upset over what's happening here. She's accomplished a lot. And so, recently she got married, right? She's living her life. She got property in Hawaii, Florida, whatever. So she like, disc golf isn't her number one focus that she has to win, and everything else comes second. She's living her life now. She's finding balance. I don't know that she has to go back to that killer instinct. Everything else goes to the wayside, and I'm only focusing so that's just so she can compete with Kristen, right? But I guess what I'm saying is, without that, we just have Kristen. Like with Paige, you had at least Paige and Kat and Paige, and something is going right. She's got somebody pushing. Right now, it's the other ladies won, but Kristen was only here for what, 2 of those? Like she came back and
something like that.
Yeah, she came back. She won something, and then she won again. So it's her second win, I think, in 4 or 5 attempts. And remember, she's got a lot on her plate too. She's traveling. Has her daughter in another country that she's trying to balance. So let's not skip over that. As a parent, I know what it's like. I have children in North Carolina that I don't see.
Yeah.
That I try to talk to. You know what I mean? They're adults. Imagine having a younger one that's that far.
Yeah.
And she's able to put it aside and perform the way she does. It would be nice to see another, I guess, dynasty for Kristen to go on a little run and get her 4 or 5. And then, right now, who's the best? Kristen.
Kristen, by far.
Who's considered the GOAT because they won 5?
Paige.
Right? And not to mention what she has, 16 majors?
Probably.
Page?
I don't know how many, but probably. It's a lot.
She and Paul were kind of like betting who was going to get above the other. Paul got his 6th championship world before she did, and I think that put him at 16, where she's at 15. Correct me if you know, it doesn't matter. So
someone.
But that's still that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot. Kristen was the first one to do the majors in 1 year, so she can get that number pretty easily. Quickly, not easily. The ladies aren't, sorry about that, but so I think Stat Mando is probably the way to go for a little while, and if
I think so.
PJ just wants to accept that, just let them use it and use those numbers. These make sense.
They make a
I don't know where that other stuff comes from.
I don't know either, but Stat Mando stuff makes a ton of sense.
You had some stuff for AB you wanted to talk about. I saw a picture. This is what 600 feet looks like, and they show him
his
getting ready to rip one.
Right in the power pocket. Yeah, really cool picture.
Perfectly in there. Like, he's the one that overshot a 7-foot hole, right? When OB?
700-foot hole long. Probably.
It was him. I think it was.
I believe it.
Yeah. If Eagle comes back completely healthy, ready to tear it up, he's still throwing new discs to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does he compete right away?
Yeah, he will. Though he is hurt. He said he's got a back tightness this weekend. He's competing this weekend.
I did hear that.
But he's got back tightness.
So it was shoulder previously. It was shoulder.
Yeah, the shoulder.
He was waiting to heal that, and now he's got a little back, which shout out to DBW. He can attest. Once you start having back problems with disc golf, it's
bad.
I mean, most major sports, you're using your core, and your back is related to that. It's going to be an issue, and I hope he heals. I want to see a very fresh Eagle take on this version of AB and of Gannon.
And Calvin.
That's what I want to see. Calvin, the robot,
And
he's
hurt
always there.
Calvin. Calvin that can't throw forehand.
I mean, it's kind of fair because Eagle wasn't really throwing that.
Yeah.
I mean,
Eagle won
Calvin,
European Open without throwing forehand, basically. He threw lefty shots 400
go,
feet.
I was just gonna say, Calvin, go to the field, put them in your left hand, see what you got.
Probably got
I'm
it.
sure
Yeah.
you could. You've got the skill. Eagle did it.
Yep.
And he used it on tour. He didn't just use it as a gimmick.
Yeah.
I say that because it bothers me when Justin pulls out his lefty just to say, "Let me see what I can do."
Yeah.
Like it's gimmicky, but he still outdrives me with
Different.
his left. So screw you, Justin. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that card right there. Eagle, Calvin, Gannon, and I'm always a fan of Simon. If he's anywhere near the
Yeah.
top, I'm going
Yeah,
with
me too.
Simon.
Simon's fun to
Always
watch.
a fan. He toned down the Simon lines, but when he knows he's got a crowd watching, you're still gonna get one out of him.
He threw that one really
It's
crazy one
awesome.
that went 20 feet, but it was 300 feet in the sky.
Yes. All right. So we have that was that. This was all the ranking and stuff was brought up again. Something happened with Brodie,
Yeah,
and
someone
the conversation happened.
mentioned it to Tour Life.
Yeah, and then I happened to see it was Twitter.
Yeah.
Brodie does his trophy rankings. People just he had a rant about trophies, and I think it started over Rochester, right? Driving a steering
It
wheel.
started before that. It started before that, but
Okay.
that one kind of
it got big.
it got big around the Rochester
Because
AFDO
he didn't
trophy.
understand the hair of the AFDO, why there was a steering wheel.
Yeah.
And then when he found out, he backtracked. He apologized, but the comment was there. It's never going away. It's the internet.
Yeah. He's very vocal about not liking a lot of disc golf trophies. And then he was not vocal about AB's trophy at Jonesboro being wrong.
He was vocal about Kristen getting the trophy before card.
Yeah, but that's just a thing. That just happens now. Like it's just part of the sport that they just give the trophy right away and then they finalize scorecards and then they do media. It's like that's the order that we do things in because we have live score and we know who won.
Right. I'm not going to say he was against it or he did anything negative in any way, so don't jump on it. I just remember him saying, I think it might even be what you were doing. He was just trying to explain, look, they're doing this to fill airtime because if you see her tap in and you're like, okay, she won, now you're going to wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes for them to walk away, do the counts, do everything. What are they going to fill that time with?
Right.
Come back and say, hey, everyone, here's your winner.
Yeah.
And then interview.
All your viewers are gone.
Yeah.
Because everyone knows who won, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And they want to have that moment while everyone's still watching and the crowd is still there. The crowd is still amped up, right? You come back later, you have half the crowd behind you. It's a thing. So.
Yep, it totally is. But back to the trophies, though. Like, I am...
Please put up a picture of the girls with the stick trophy that I shared.
I will put up the stick trophy picture. This is the first time I've agreed with Brodie. Is this picture I put right here. Every other time, I think Brodie's wrong and the trophy's cool.
I mean, everyone has opinions on trophies. Bob puts a lot of work into his trophy, a lot, right? I've seen some of Bob's trophies, and I'm like, my initial reaction, dude, just pay a professional to get that part done. On a couple of them.
Yeah.
Then you remember, this man did them himself.
Yeah.
The idea, he created, and he did it. It's just like when I look at some people who do dyes, that's just splashing shit on the plastic and then seeing what happens, right? To me, if there's no form or if there's nothing to it on some of them, I'll just be like, I don't see it there. Yeah. I don't know why. That's why I do a lot of stencil work and spin because there's a line, something's happening.
Yeah.
And that's what my brain connects with. So when I don't see it, so if Bob's scribbling or, doesn't have it in an exact line, you can tell it's homemade. You're like, but at the same time, again, for all you watching and anyone paying attention, this is someone who took time out of their day, not getting paid for it, doing it for the love of the sport, trying to give you something unique, not trying to recycle or do what other people have. So cut them a little bit of slack. Congratulations to the women in the picture that he just shared. You did an awesome job to earn them. Maybe, just maybe, I heard there might be a history to this one. Maybe in that course, maybe something happened previously, or it was a thing back in the day where people made trophies from sticks or whatever they found at that course and did cool designs. This one just happened to really look like a Christmas tree. I honestly I agree with him kind of.
Yeah.
Am I going to put that one on the trophy shelf? Probably not. You know, now that I say trophy shelf, shout out to Maui. Same thing. I got a couple that he did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Homemade, really cool. Little mossy, little baskets. Like
Yeah, those are cool. I remember those.
time out of his day that he did that. So Maui and whoever helped you, those were awesome. And I just thought of that when I thought about the ones on my shelf. So
Yeah.
yeah, you don't have to always agree with Brodie. He's a very opinionated fellow. I mean, you are too. You're just like
I
fuck them all, but
yeah.
that doesn't
But
mean he's wrong. Do you have a
I
specific one comes to mind?
well, he was mad about the steering wheel. There was a couple last year he was mad about. I don't remember what they were anymore. But like they were cool. They had significance to the course or the local area or something like that, or like the state they were in. I thought they were cool. I thought they were unique. We don't need to just be here's a silver cup, like, and move on.
Yeah, I remember I got mine from Pyrohyzer for the first one.
Yeah, Pyrohyzer does a really good
Um,
job.
I didn't tell anyone that they were glass, but I didn't tell anyone that they were glow.
Yeah,
So that when they got home, if they hung it or they did something, they would see the glow. And there's an extra surprise, you know, later that night or the next day, you know, like you're kind of refreshed and you remember, like, oh, yeah, I won that trophy. And oh, yeah, it glows. Now it looks
yep,
cool. That was something that at the time was a little different and was pretty cool. For the trophies that we've done, I think that was pretty. I mean, we've done some die trophies too. Everybody has an opinion. Some people don't like die trophies, they don't like discs as trophies,
yeah,
but you're throwing a disc to get it. So
yeah.
are you
I
really
think
against?
I think the disc trophies are cool. I mean, I paid $400 for my trophies for an unsanctioned doubles event, and they came out
I worked
awesome.
so hard to try to get one of those.
I know.
We beat Nate, and I thought we were gonna get one of
They
those
were
too.
such cool trophies. I was so happy with how they came out. Because a friend of mine did them, and then I was gonna work with a local company here that does laser engraving and machining, and they were gonna probably give them to me for free, and then I would put their name on the tournament or something. You know, we had a handshake agreement figured out for what we were gonna do. But then they moved into a new shop. They didn't get all their stuff set up in time. They couldn't do it for me. So I was just like, well, I'm not going to rush something else and get something that I don't like. So I just skipped the trophies, and we'll just put more to payouts this time. And I'll make better trophies for next time.
Can't please all the people all the time, right? You're
No.
never gonna please everyone. Some people are gonna complain about um, player packs. Some people are gonna complain about trophies. You know, especially when you put all the focus on a trophy in a trophy only tournament. These trophies better be
Better
on
be
point.
good. Yeah.
They better be on point. I'm trying to think of some of the other trophies that I have that are from disc golf. Oh, I got some medals hanging over there. First
Yeah, I've
place
got a
of
few
the point
medals.
series.
Yep, I've got a few point
I
series
think those
medals.
are cool. I think those are
Yeah.
cool. So like, I let my daughter carry. Like, they don't mean that much to me if I have something similar to it. So I let my daughter like wear it and play with it.
Yeah.
Um, but I like that I earned it and I got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they change it up a little, they do whatever. Um, I also saw. Remember the belts? Remember I have a
Like
D two
championship
DG.
belts or like grip six
No,
belts.
I did the grip six belt. So I
Yeah.
did see one that had a grip six thing on there, but the championship belt, that was a good idea that I wanted to look into.
Yeah.
I saw somebody do that too, and those are awesome because that's something that you can try to have almost like the team series where
Yeah.
you bring it back every year and it has a new name on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And somebody has it for a full year for that tournament. if
Yep.
that's how you're gonna roll with it.
Yep.
And then they get to wear it. Imagine that, man. You're showing up with your belt, in August that you won in June,
Yeah.
and nobody can do anything about it until the following June to try to take it from you.
Yeah.
To me, that would be amazing. That's just awesome.
That would be cool. Yeah. Like I said, for my team tournament that I'm gonna run here, I'm going to get some big trophies made that have space for plaques or engraving on them, and then engrave plaques with the winners and keep them at the shop. Maybe see if I can get a shelf at another round Greenville. Keep the trophies at the shop so that people can see who won every year and keep a running tally going. And then make it like the Stanley Cup. And then when, in however many years we fill out the bottom, we add another layer to it and make it like the Stanley Cup and just get bigger and bigger. So we need to make a second Stanley Cup.
I gave it back. Yeah. I gave it back to Jimmy, and I never saw year 2 printed on, because we had D2DG twice.
Oh.
So the silver,
Yeah.
Alicia, Chris, Luke, and Sully.
Yeah.
I think that was the silver. So they won.
Yep.
And they were going to be on the silver side, and we were going to be again on the gold side. But I don't think he did that, or he was probably getting it ready for this past year that didn't unfortunately happen. Not enough signups, but I'm gonna ask him for at least a picture of that, because I got a picture of the first one.
Yeah.
With that trophy. So, yeah. What was I going to say? You had a slight issue. We're not going to name names or do anything, but it speaks to me. Trophies, same thing as player packs. You had a slight issue with a player pack entry not being of value, or what you thought to be of value in one case or another case.
Yeah, I was just looking at tournaments I was going to sign up for and saw one. It was AM only, true amateur only, which means no payouts, trophy only. And the players pack just didn't make sense with the amount it was cost.
Confused by that. You can still have payouts. Sure. It's in plastic.
I don't know. Yeah, you can, absolutely. I don't get why they did it this way. I don't get why, because I mean, it makes more money for the TDs, basically.
Does it, though? If that TD doesn't do that and just does trophy only and puts a value on that trophy?
I mean, if they put the money back into the trophy, then fine. Great.
Yeah. But who's to say that? Because, again, if it's personalized, if it's taking your time, you know what I mean? There might be something behind that. But
sure. And that would be fine. I would just like to know that up front going in.
And what I want other people to do up front, when you're just born to complain, you're going to find anything to complain about.
Oh, dude, some people are just whiners.
It's hard for us as a TD to just come up with new, fresh ideas and try to please people. You're not going to do it every time. We like the idea of the personalized towel, disc, shirt, stuff that you use. The power bank that Germ is doing with his buddy. He got in on, right? There's only so many things you can do, though, because you still want a payout at the end.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, most people want a payout. They want to earn it. Some people know going into a tournament, I don't have a chance in hell of placing.
Yeah.
Some people know that, and they're probably hoping for a better players pack as a reward for participating.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in our history, we don't reward that kind of person.
No.
We like to reward the winners on the trophy side and the payout side. So we have a little bit of wiggle room. The PDGA gives you guidelines for payouts. You got to pay this many people. What we usually do is front load the winners a little more to reward them, because depending on how many people you have, we don't believe in participation trophies at 15th place and giving them $3 or $7. That's just weird.
Yeah.
Because you're here in a tournament competing to win.
Yeah. Right.
You can do casual rounds anytime, anywhere to get better. You want to do it in tournaments, that's okay too. But if you're not performing, you shouldn't be hoping to just snag that last $2, $3, $4, $5, $6 from someone who tore it up and should be rewarded. That's our opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just a very competitive.
We share that.
I'm a very competitive person. I want to win. To me, people are like, oh, you go to disc golf to have fun. Winning is fun. Playing well is fun.
I've had way more fun winning.
Yeah.
on sanctioned tournaments. Now there
In
are some other
sanctioned
tournaments that
tournaments,
weren't
sure.
sanctioned. You have some drinks and you don't care
You,
anymore.
yep.
Yeah,
Like
you do
yes,
whatever. You don't have to
yes.
drink to do it, but you get it. You have fun
You
because
get
you're
to
just
have
out here
fun
throwing
because you're just having fun with your friends.
your version of a Simon line, and you're like, watch this, guys. All
100%.
right, that's right. But when it comes to the competitive nature, I mean,
Yeah, if you're signing up
you're
for a
doing
sanctioned event, you should be trying to play well and play to win. Now, I get that some
and
people,
learning to,
yeah,
kind of move up
I
and
get.
work your way up.
Now, to be fair, I don't care about winning events anymore. I care about playing highly rated rounds. I care about my rating. I want to see the number go up. If I win because of that, great. That's an added benefit. But if I shoot two great rounds in a 2 round C tier and don't win because someone shot two better rounds, then great. Like if I shoot above my rating, I'm happy. And as long as my rating keeps going up, I'm happy.
I'm checking mine right now. I know because I haven't played like 2022. I think was the bad injury.
Yeah.
I'm looking right now. I think I had 4 rounds,
Yeah. I've
so I
got
didn't do much in 2022.
I've got 5 rounds already this year. Maybe 6.
Wow. Trying to go back. I think 2020 is when I started. All right. Yeah, that's when I had a win, and then I had second place. So I've won sanctioned. I've 3 sanctioned wins.
Yeah.
I have a lot of unsanctioned,
Yeah.
and teams and doubles
Yeah.
wins.
Yeah.
But I have some. I'm trying to find because I had a really bad one at LBC. Trying to find the worst one.
Yeah.
God, I want to say 30th. Like a bad result, right? Like we're not saying this that we're elitists and we win, so everybody else keep
Yeah,
up.
we
No,
don't
we
win.
lose. I lose a lot. But I'm still competing for something. And I've even said and you've done it too. If you play somewhere where you're in the $7 or $8 range, you just wave your hand back and keep it. Give it to someone else. Look for somebody here. Add it to yours.
Yep.
You did better. Like or Chris. Chris actually won. Chris won a bag.
Yeah.
And he turned around to a guy who was new or whatever, and he was like, "Here you go."
Yeah.
Gave it to him,
Me
and
me
it
and
meant the world to that guy.
me and Spencer did that
Yes,
at the
for that too.
at Glory B. We came in third. We won like
Prodigy bag.
Prodigy bags. Me and Spencer both have our carts and bags that we use every day. And so I turned to Spencer and I was like, Spencer, do you want this bag? And he was like, no, I don't care. And I was like, great. So I went up there, accepted him, and then I was like, who came in, who missed cash, who missed who was first out of cash
First myth, yeah.
Yeah, in like the lowest division. And they figured that out, and I was like, great, here's your bags. Like, come up here. You get bags.
There you go. So again, we're not just assholes. Like we give
No.
back. We like people. We're just competitive nature. We want to reward them. So, well, that's not everybody's thing. It's not.
No.
There's going to be times where everybody's included. Everybody's having fun. There's going to be times where you should compete if you're in a sanctioned event. So,
Yeah.
And the trophies again. We did have a tournament where we tried to get trophies. The cost was way more than it was originally agreed on. So we were like, we're not doing trophies. Everything was back in the payout. And for cash, for the MPO, that meant cash. But for the amateurs, I threw in more plastic, more value in the plastic for them because I felt bad because amateurs want those trophies a little bit more than MPO.
Yeah.
MPO is like cash. I really care about that cash. They don't care as much about the trophy. Trophies are cool, but if they have a choice and you tell the winner, here's your $400 and your $50 trophy, or here's your $450. Which one do you want?
They're taking $450.
I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying maybe 80, 90% of the time they're taking it.
Most of them are taking it. That's for sure.
Yeah. And that's all they care about. They don't care about player packs. They don't care about anything else. They're there to win. They're there to take home some money. And a lot of them are trying to make a living off of it.
Yep.
Even they don't have to be touring to make a living off of it.
Nope. Your local
you
pros.
Can bounce around and yeah. So think of them next time you want to complain about what you're doing at our amateur level and what you want to complain about. You hope to one day, some people hope to one day make it to that pro level, to be good enough to play MPO, FPO, and above. At my age, it's just not going to happen. I don't see playing MP40 or MP50 at all. Not going to compete with those guys. Don't stand a chance. Never will. And I'm okay with that. I started when I was 43.
Yeah. Yeah.
42.
You got a late
I'm
start.
okay with that. Yeah. So if you're younger and you have goals, it doesn't mean you're going to be a touring pro, but you can have goals of saying, I want to MPO, I want to cash MPO, I
Yeah.
want to compete MPO, get better, get your winnings, get your trophies, get your everything up there, throw your tournaments and help your local clubs throw tournaments.
Yeah.
Be there for the work days. Be there to help and see what's involved, and then you can complain. It's we don't get political here, but it's the same thing. If you don't vote, don't complain about the results.
Right.
Same
100%.
thing. If you don't put in work at the course, if you don't volunteer, if you're physically unable to volunteer, like I have been, I have donated plastic, I have donated money, I have donated cards. You can still be a part of it
Yeah.
in some way, shape, or form, and then you have a voice in complaining about something.
Even if you just show up and
It's
bring
that
beer,
simple.
like that's appreciated.
Yeah, provide drinks to people. That's it. You're helping.
Yeah.
I specifically told Jimmy, especially for ECP, you know my limitations with my back, and he was like, just being there to help supervise, guide, and tell people where to be,
Yeah.
running
Helps a
teams is
lot.
a huge help. And I don't want to brag, and we've talked about it before, but even with my limitations and with my back issues, I still went to ECP with my sons. We dug holes, we put in alternate pins,
Yeah.
cleared brush. We did what I knew I was going to be out of it for the next day or two.
Yeah.
Still did it because it had to get done. Just wanted to prove my limitations, severe back injury. I'm still doing it. I'm still out there. Got my boys doing it. You can do it. If you can have 70 people show up to league on a Tuesday, why can't you have half of that show up for a work day?
Yeah.
Why can't we get 35? And imagine how much more work can be done on these courses that people complain about when there's a tee that's a little shifty or the tee pad is, ripping in a certain area. And they're like, oh, this isn't everyone. It's a small percentage that help, small percentage that bitch about everything. And in the middle, you got that
You got everybody
70% of
else.
people who they'll help, they'll clean up, and
Yep.
they'll be a part of it. But not everybody can be there on certain days. But that's why we have groups. That's why you have stewards and you have everybody helping. So
Yeah.
try to help. Try to have. If you want a voice, use your hands. Help, and then you have a voice.
Yep.
So I haven't done it yet for our ECP. We just started off. They canceled it because Sunday was going to be a storm.
Yeah.
And we were kind of watching the weather, and then it didn't really happen. And next thing you know, it's like 62 and sunny.
Yeah.
But they still got some work done. They were still
Good.
hanging around there,
Good.
and they got some work done. A couple people got some work done. So shout out to that group. But yeah, as soon as we have a day where I can help, I'm going to grab my boys, grab my truck, and we're going to be laying mulch and doing some other stuff, and we're going to try to help ECP a little bit. And it's not just so we can complain. We're not going to complain about it. We just like ECP. It's our local course, so we want to help. You don't have to drive that far for it. So that's all I have to say about that. Sorry, that took over, but
all right,
it's a thing that needs to be said,
get off your
especially for
soapbox,
amateurs.
and we can
sorry.
we can hang this one up for now. I think we're over an hour, so I think that was a good.
Oh, nice. We made it.
A good natural stopping point for us. If you're still here, like I always say, hit that like, subscribe, hit the bell, get notified when this goes up live, and
don't forget to help us answer why Sully.
And always, we will ask, why Sully?
Why Sully? Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next week.